Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive with us. Today, today we're going to be looking at something that I think a lot of you out there are probably dealing with right now,
Oh, yeah.
which is hiring.
Hiring, yeah.
Specifically for that really essential role,
Yeah,
the accounts assistant.
absolutely.
The folks that really keep the financial gears turning smoothly in any business.
The unsung heroes.
Yeah, they are. So we've got a recent article that we're going to be
Hmm.
diving into that is packed with interview questions and
Yeah.
insights.
Okay.
All kinds of really good
That's
stuff.
so cool.
So we're going to be uncovering what it really takes to find that perfect candidate
Okay.
in today's landscape.
And it's a landscape that is changing rapidly.
Right.
The demand for account assistants is definitely on the rise,
Yeah.
but the expectations are evolving too. Companies are looking for more
Mhm.
than just someone who can, just crunch numbers.
Right. And that's what I think is so fascinating about this article is that it's emphasizing adaptability,
Yes.
problem solving,
Mm-hmm.
you know, all of those skills
Yeah,
that go beyond just textbook accounting knowledge.
absolutely.
Like how do you assess if someone can handle a really demanding client or a super tight
Yeah.
deadline?
Right.
That's where I think these really in-depth
Yes.
interview questions come in, right?
Absolutely. You hit the nail on the head. It's not just about, what someone knows about debits and credits, but how they've actually handled tricky situations in the past.
Yeah.
For example, imagine you're trying to gauge a candidate's ability
Okay.
to deal with a financial dispute.
Mm-hmm.
A resume might say, strong customer service skills, but a behavioral question like, tell me about a time you had to resolve a financial dispute with a customer.
Right.
That will paint a much clearer picture.
Okay, so walk me through this.
Yeah.
What are we really looking for
Yeah.
in their response to a question like that?
So there's several things, actually. First, you're listening for their problem-solving approach. Did they panic, or did they approach the situation calmly and methodically?
Okay.
Second, you want to understand their communication style. Were they able to clearly explain the issue to the customer and find a resolution that satisfied both parties?
Got it.
And finally, you're looking for hints about their resilience. Did this experience rattle them, or did they learn from it and grow? These are all critical skills for an account assistant who will be interacting with various stakeholders.
That's so insightful. It's like you're reading between the lines of their experience, right?
Precisely. And the article dives into a whole range of these behavioral questions,
All right.
each designed to uncover a specific skill set. We see questions about handling tight deadlines, prioritizing tasks, identifying process improvements. It's a goldmine of information
Right.
for anyone looking to make a smart hiring decision.
And it's not just about the technical skills and experience.
Right.
The article also delves into these personality-based questions.
Mm.
And these seem geared towards uncovering work style, problem-solving approaches, and even a candidate's ethics.
It's about fit. You can have the most technically skilled accountant in the world, but if they can't collaborate effectively
Right.
or handle stress gracefully, it can disrupt the entire team dynamic.
So let's talk about those personality-based questions.
Yeah, let's do it.
What are some examples that really stood out to you? And what should hiring managers be listening for in the responses?
One that I find particularly revealing is, how do you approach tasks that require a high level of attention to detail?
Okay.
You want to hear about systems they have in place, double-checking habits, maybe even a story about a time they caught a crucial error. This is where you can separate those who are naturally meticulous from those who might struggle with the precision required in accounting.
That's a great point. Attention to detail is non-negotiable in this role.
Mm.
What about questions that reveal a candidate's ability to work independently?
Mm-hmm.
That seems crucial for an accounts assistant who might be handling a variety of tasks on their own.
Absolutely. A question like, describe a situation where you had to work independently on a complex financial project, can be very telling.
Okay.
You're looking for evidence of self-motivation, organizational skills, and the ability to stay focused without constant supervision.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It strikes me that these personality-based questions
Yeah.
really tap into something that's hard to glean from a resume, right?
Yeah,
How someone handles pressure and prioritizes their workload.
exactly. And that's where a question like, how do you handle situations when you have to prioritize multiple deadlines or conflicting priorities?
Okay.
That comes into play. It's a classic scenario for an accounts assistant.
Right.
You're juggling invoices, reconciling accounts, preparing reports. It's a constant flow of demands.
Yeah.
So you want to hear about their strategies for staying organized, their
Mm-mm.
decision-making process,
Right.
and their ability to communicate effectively when they need to adjust timelines or delegate tasks.
So it's not just about working independently. It's about knowing when to reach out for support or renegotiate deadlines when necessary.
Precisely. It's about striking that balance between taking ownership
Hmm.
and recognizing when collaboration or flexibility is needed.
Right.
And while we're on the topic of flexibility, another crucial aspect of the accounts assistant role is adaptability.
Right. Because the world of finance is constantly evolving, new regulations,
Yeah.
software updates, you name it.
Exactly. And that's why a question like, describe a time when you had to adapt to changes in financial processes or procedures,
Right.
is so valuable.
Okay.
You want to understand how they approach learning new things, how
Mhm.
they handle uncertainty,
Right.
and whether they see change as a challenge or an opportunity.
It's that growth mindset we hear so much about, right? The
Yes.
ability to embrace change and continuously learn.
Absolutely. And, it's not just about adapting to external changes. It's
Yeah.
also about navigating the different personalities and work
Mhm.
styles you encounter in any team environment.
Right. That's a great point.
I
I'm
love
guessing
it.
that's where the question about collaborating with colleagues who have different perspectives comes in.
You got it. That question digs into their interpersonal skills, their conflict resolution abilities, and their
Mhm.
capacity for empathy. Can they find common ground with colleagues who approach things differently? Can they listen actively and understand different perspectives? These are essential skills for building strong working relationships
Right.
and fostering a positive team dynamic.
And ultimately, it's about finding someone who aligns with the company's values.
Yeah.
Right. Someone you can trust to handle sensitive financial information with integrity.
Absolutely. A question like, can you provide an example of a time when you demonstrated strong ethics and integrity in your financial work?
Right.
That's crucial for assessing a candidate's moral compass. You want to hear about situations where they did the right thing, even when it was difficult or inconvenient.
It's about character, isn't it? That underlying sense of responsibility and accountability that goes beyond technical skills.
Precisely. And, all these questions we've been discussing, the behavioral, the personality based, they paint a much richer picture of a candidate than a resume ever could.
Mm.
But the article doesn't stop there. It goes on to highlight another crucial element of the hiring process: skills assessments.
Right. Because it's one thing for someone to say they're proficient in Excel
Yeah.
or have a strong understanding of accounting principles, but it's another thing to actually see them demonstrate those skills.
Exactly. Skills assessments provide that concrete evidence, that objective measure
Yeah.
of a candidate's abilities. They can help to validate what you've gleaned from the interview and ensure that you're making a well-informed hiring decision.
So what kind of skills assessments are we talking about here? What are some common examples in the accounting field?
There's a wide range depending on the specific role and the level of experience you're looking for.
Right.
For an accounts assistant, you might start with a basic accounting knowledge test covering things like debits and credits, journal entries, and basic financial statements. You could also assess their proficiency in Excel, particularly their ability to use formulas and functions to analyze data and create reports. And then, depending on the role, you might delve into more specialized areas like accounts payable, accounts receivable, or payroll.
It sounds like these assessments can be tailored to the specific needs of the company and the role.
Yes,
And it's not just about testing their technical skills, right?
you're right. You can also assess soft skills through simulations or behavioral assessments.
Okay.
For example, you could present them with a scenario where they have to deal with a difficult customer or resolve a conflict between colleagues. This can give you valuable insights into their communication style, problem-solving abilities, and interpersonal skills.
It's like getting a glimpse into how they would actually perform in the role, right?
Precisely. And the beauty of skills assessments is that they can help to eliminate bias and ensure that you're evaluating candidates fairly and objectively.
Hmm.
You're basing your decision on concrete evidence, not just gut feelings or first impressions.
That's a powerful argument for incorporating them into the hiring process.
Yeah.
Now, the article takes this concept a step further
Yeah.
and suggests that skills assessments can be valuable not just for hiring, but also for ongoing employee development.
That's right. Imagine using those same assessments to identify individual strengths and weaknesses, then creating targeted training programs to help employees upskill or address specific areas where they need to grow.
It's like transforming those assessments from a one-time evaluation into a continuous feedback loop, right?
Exactly. It's about fostering a culture of learning and growth within the organization. And for the employee, it's empowering. It gives them a clear understanding of where they stand and what they need to do to advance their careers.
It's like turning those assessments from something that might feel intimidating into something that feels supportive and encouraging.
Yes.
And it benefits the company too, right? You're investing in your employees, helping them to develop their skills and become even more valuable assets.
Precisely. It's a smart investment that leads to a more engaged, skilled, and productive workforce.
So thinking back to our discussion about the evolving role of the accounts assistant, it seems like this ability to continuously learn and adapt will be crucial in the years to come.
Absolutely.
What are some of the key trends you're seeing in the accounting field that might impact how we hire and develop these professionals?
One of the most significant trends is the increasing automation of accounting tasks. Software is becoming more sophisticated, capable of handling many of the routine tasks that used to be done manually.
So does that mean we'll need fewer accounts assistants in the future?
Not necessarily. While automation might reduce the need for certain tasks, it's also creating new opportunities.
Okay.
For example, as software takes over the more mundane tasks, account assistants can focus on higher-level activities like data analysis, financial forecasting, and strategic decision-making.
So the role is shifting, becoming more strategic and analytical.
Exactly. And that means we need to look for candidates who not only have strong technical skills, but also possess the critical thinking, problem-solving, and communication skills necessary to thrive in this evolving landscape.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So when we're hiring for an accounts assistant role today,
Right.
we need to look beyond the traditional skill set and consider how they might adapt to the future of the profession.
Absolutely. And it's not just about technical skills. We also need to consider their ability to work effectively in a technology-driven environment.
So things like comfort with new software, data visualization tools,
Yes.
maybe even some understanding of data analytics.
Exactly. Those are all skills that are becoming increasingly valuable in the accounting field.
And I imagine those are skills that can be assessed both during the hiring process and through ongoing employee development programs.
You got it. We have a whole range of tools and resources available to assess and develop those skills. It's all about identifying those needs and providing the right opportunities for growth.
This has been so insightful. I feel like we've really unpacked the multifaceted nature of hiring and developing accounts assistants in today's rapidly changing world. Before we wrap up, is there anything else you'd like to add for our listeners who are navigating this complex landscape?
Yeah, I think the key takeaway here is that
Yeah.
the role of the accounts assistant is becoming much more than just number crunching.
Absolutely.
It's evolving into a position that requires this blend of technical expertise,
Yes.
adaptability, and all of those all-important soft skills.
Absolutely. And that evolution presents both challenges and opportunities
Right.
for those involved in hiring and developing these professionals. We need to be more strategic in our approach, considering not just what the role requires today, but also how it might transform in the future.
And that brings us back to, these really fascinating interview questions.
And skills assessments that we were talking about,
Yeah.
they're not just tools for valuation.
Right.
They're also roadmaps for growth and development.
You hit the nail on the head. Those assessments can reveal so much about a candidate's strengths and weaknesses, providing valuable insights for creating tailored training programs and fostering a culture of continuous learning.
Yeah.
It's a win-win for both the employee and the organization.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of hiring accounts assistants, I want to leave our listeners with a thought-provoking question.
Okay, shoot.
Thinking back on everything we've discussed, the evolving role, the in-depth interview questions, the emphasis on skills assessments, what do you think would be the most challenging aspect of finding the ideal accounts assistant?
That's a great question, and I think the answer might surprise some people. While technical skills are certainly important, I believe the most challenging aspect is often finding someone who embodies that crucial blend of adaptability, problem-solving abilities, and strong interpersonal skills.
It's those soft skills.
Yeah.
That ability to navigate complex situations and work effectively with others, that can really make or break a candidate right.
Precisely. And those skills are becoming even more valuable as the role of the accounts assistant continues to evolve and embrace new technologies and processes.
So for anyone out there who's involved in hiring for this crucial role, I encourage you to look beyond the technical skills and really dig into those behavioral and personality-based questions. Use those skills assessments not just to evaluate, but also to identify areas for growth and development.
And for those of you who are accounts assistants yourselves, embrace the opportunities for continuous learning. Stay curious, seek out new challenges, and never stop honing your skills.
The world of finance is constantly changing, and the ability to adapt and evolve will be key to your success. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you've gained some valuable insights into the dynamic world of hiring and developing accounts assistants.